The bench under the block is not a place for conversations or dates. It is an altar with a bottle of moonshine where vodka is recognized faster than one's own dreams. The sun barely rises, and they already have a glass in hand. Here, no occasion is needed, just a cheap bottle and an empty reality in the background. Their hands tremble not from cold, but from the hunger for alcohol, which eats away the last remnants of reason and will. Everything starts innocently, ending at the bottom. Homemade moonshine, brewed in rusty buckets, is neither a hobby nor a tradition. It is the last lifeline in a world without a future. Alcoholics do not plan their lives because no one has shown them that life can be more than a series of hangovers, fights, and night-long howls behind closed windows. The WHO warns that 1 in 4 of them will not live to see 40. But here, no one listens to the WHO. No one believes that anyone can survive at all. Instead of dreams, fatigue. Instead of plans, a bottle. Instead of love, violence that spills like filth from a clogged gutter. Father drank, mother screamed, brother sits, and sister disappeared. So they sit on the same bench and do the same, because they do not know another path. There is no internet, no library, no teachers. There is only a stairwell, a bench, and spirits in a plastic cola bottle. They do not study for knowledge, only to avoid the army or to get a discount on a ticket, and then return to the block and drink again. Alcohol is their psychiatrist, priest, and father in one. Instead of therapy, a glass. Instead of conversation, babble through tears. Depression is a word that is never spoken here. Weakness is shame, and shame dissolves best in homemade vodka. Here, a human who believes in themselves is not born. A wreck is born, who at 20 already has eyes like a 40-year-old veteran. They do not seek help because no one has ever helped them. So they learn to stay silent, drink, and survive, even if they have no reason to. Families are broken. Mothers and fathers disappear. Grandparents drink. 18 years old is not adulthood for them, but a sentence, a phase of drinking, another bench, another wound in the soul that will never heal. No one asks them what they want, because everyone already knows they only want the day to pass somehow and not to run out of a bottle. The housing blocks are not a backdrop. They are the main character of this drama, unfolding daily, right next door, behind iron doors with broken intercoms. Instead of social services, silence. Instead of police, indifference. Instead of neighbors, fellow drinkers who were once children too. Aggression is the language they learn to speak, not poetically, not beautifully, but brutally, effectively, and always with a black eye. By 25, they have no teeth, passports, or hope, but they have a 2-liter bottle and a friend who just got out of prison. Every day is a rerun. Vodka, empty conversation, fight, escape, hangover, fear, sleep on a cold floor, and vodka again. They plan nothing, because their world does not allow for a future, only the present, which hurts, and the past, which they do not remember. They do not leave because they have nowhere to go. The block is not a place. It is a sentence they serve, even though they committed no crime. By 30, they look like old people whose lives have rolled over their faces like a tank, mercilessly, senselessly, without pause. They do not want mercy. They do not want help. They only want no one to disturb them in dying, which began before they learned to speak. Addiction in families does not start with the first glass, but with the first scream of a father and the mother's hidden bottle in the underwear drawer. Alcohol becomes the natural language of emotions, the only form of celebration, mourning, and daily existence, as if it were part of their DNA. When the father comes home drunk and the mother sleeps with her eyes open, no one asks why. They only ask when it will be able to drink itself. In many Russian cities, young people do not dream of careers because they know their only work is physical labor for a handful of rubles with no future. Work off the books, without a contract, without rights, without respect. Construction sites, warehouses, unloading containers, everything that destroys the body faster than vodka. Those who do not want to slave for pennies steal, scheme, live on welfare, learning life day by day as if tomorrow will never come. In their eyes, remnants of propaganda still smolder, stories about a great Russia, about power, about honor, which have nothing to do with their reality. They are convinced they belong to a proud nation, yet they cannot fix the roof of their block or buy new shoes for the winter. Television speaks of army victories, but on their streets there are more holes in the asphalt than hopes. And only vodka somehow fills these gaps. Instead of information, military parades and images of the greatness of a state that does not see their poverty, their hunger, and their daily hopelessness. They no longer try to plan, do not believe in plans, do not seek a better tomorrow. Each day is survival, not life. There are no savings, no education, no plans, only today, only now, only just to drink, just to forget. Many of them do not even have a surname in the system. They do not appear in any registry. They do not officially exist. They are like ghosts. They do not have a bank account, they do not have a passport, they do not have insurance, as if the state itself has given up on their existence. They are invisible to the system, but visible on the streets, with sunken eyes and smoke from a cigarette that replaces breakfast. They have no connections, so they have no work. They have no money, so they have no passions. Only this eternal hunger that cannot be satisfied. Their social relationships are like empty bottles, temporary, worthless, breaking at the slightest occasion, leaving only glass in the heart. Friendship is rare here, and love even rarer, because how can you trust anyone when your whole life has taught you only fear and lies? Social closeness is shared drinking, sometimes a shared fight, but a sincere conversation or care are luxuries from other worlds. Loneliness is their natural state. In a crowd, at a table, under a bench, always alone, even if someone next to them is also drinking. These are not people who chose this life. This life was assigned to them before they had a chance to understand anything. They are not guilty of their downfall. The system pushed them out. The state abandoned them, the family broke them, and society forgot. Each of them is a separate tragedy. But together they form one great drama, a lost generation, a generation beyond rescue. On television they show national pride and they look in the mirror and see shame, which is not theirs, but they cannot wash it away. They are not the future of Russia, because no one wants them. They are ballast, which no one tries to lift, only to push deeper into the mud.